Summon theme song! Rufus Wizard!
Welcome back, everybody, to the Wizard Nerdcast. As usual, I'm Jane.
And I'm Mare.
And we're here today with our friends Nick Santiago and Benny Powell. They just opened up a shop, and we sat them down to talk to them for a little bit.
Let me just say about Benny Powell, for the longest time, because I listened to an audio recording of you mentioning him in one of the older episodes, and every time you say Powell, I think you're saying powwow. And I was just like, oh, it's cute. It's Papa Voodoo and Benny Powwow. And I was just like, it's like fucking weird, awesome nicknames.
Yeah.
But
So
that's not the case.
That's not the case.
Benny Powell.
Benny Powell. However
Powell.
anybody else says it, listen in.
Just start it.
Now, yeah. So, what got you guys together and to open up your own shop and everything?
The gods. Fate, tattooing, and sheer moxie.
Yeah, Nick got sick and we went to the hospital.
That's exactly what
That's
happened.
the story I heard.
I brought him a Snickers bar.
He did. He's like, hey man, I'm coming
That's
up.
tribute.
Like, that's
Can
nice
we
of
open
you.
a shop together? No,
Yeah, that was it.
that's cool.
It was his dowry.
Wedding. So, oh wait, no, it does come from the mother's side of the family, doesn't it? Dowry.
I think it goes to the daughter. I'm not sure.
No,
Yeah, it's
it's from
the-
the wife's family to the family of the husband.
To pay for the wedding and everything, the bride's dowry.
Because it's all wedding traditions are negative on the female side.
Always.
It's always
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
sorry, you have to take her. Here's some money.
America.
Thanks for taking her off our hands.
Right?
Yeah.
She's useless in the fields.
So happy we don't have to do that anymore. Get to keep all my goats.
No codes for you.
Yeah.
So tell us how business has been since you guys opened up. What was the date?
Tuesday the 10th of November 2015. The year of our Lord.
AAF and shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So how's business been since then?
Business has been pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, for me and him being in here, it's going good.
Just two guys.
Yeah.
Drawing on people. Taking naps.
Yeah, that's what we see you doing most of the time. Most of the time it's naps.
To be fair, we come in the afternoon
Yeah.
usually. But,
Yeah, you come after lunch, that's your fault.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tattoo a little bit, nap. Tattoo
We're
a
awake
little
for
more,
2
nap.
hours
Yeah.
only.
We're sloths, pretty much.
Yeah. Benny, tell us a little bit about what got you into tattooing.
Just always in the art, you know, and just had like the opportunity to get into tattooing and just like really enjoyed it, you know, realized I could make a living doing it, so, you know, I always worked like shit jobs and always like looking at like the clock, ready to go home, you know.
Yeah, dude.
But,
When's
like,
it gonna be over?
Yeah.
like how many more hours do I have left?
You start like Nick, like a scratcher in a basement and
Yeah.
shit, like grimy.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's how everybody.
Hey, really?
starts.
Fuck you.
I feel like that's how like everybody starts nowadays.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, because I think the problem is a lot of tattoo artists are kind of up their own ass about it, and they're just like, you want to learn my skill, you're gonna fucking pay and shit. So nobody really opens up for
I
apprenticeships.
think what
and
it
stuff
is though,
anymore.
people like they do give apprenticeships, and then like people just come in there, and they only show up for like a week and then stop coming. So it's like people after a while, like, why am I even wasting my time? You know what I mean? And I feel like you paying money for it, it just shows that you're really involved and really want to do it. Because like if they just gave out a free apprenticeship and you're just like, oh yeah, whatever, you know, you don't really lose much by not showing up. You know what I mean?
It's true.
I understand. I mean, from what I've heard, like I know some people that apprentice, some people that have had apprenticeships and everything, and like it works differently. Like some apprentices, they'll pay for their time, right? But they're also like they'll work part time, like as the shop bitch. You know what I mean, cleaning up and everything.
Yeah.
So like they pay it off that way, and some people don't pay at all, but they don't touch anything either.
It's more or less up to the owner or whoever you're apprenticing on, or how they want say some apprenticeships are like for the first 3 months, they just want you to clean stuff just to see that you're actually really willing to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To see if you'll show up that way. Basically earn a spot in the tattooing. You know what I mean? By like paying your dues more or less.
Yeah, I mean it goes to standing. I mean, if you're going to be tattooing, you in a sense you need to be as patient as a person can possibly be.
It's some Miyagi shit.
You have to be as committed as a fucking person could be. You in a sense have to be just someone who just is focused. So I mean, if you're coming in and somebody's just like, here's just toothbrush, clean the fucking bathroom, like if you can get past that, then you're made to deal with strangers' imaginations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Private part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scrub the latrine part, Powell.
Absolutely. This is my rifle.
There are many like it. This one's mine.
But also in paying for apprenticeship, though, you figure people spend thousands just to go to college, and it's
Yeah.
like
That's
True, yeah. Weighted against that.
We're basically giving you a career, for pennies compared to what people pay to go to college.
Absolutely.
And it's beyond like a career too. It's like this is like Nick said. He's like,
Lifestyle.
"What's work? Like, what is that?" He's like, "I don't know what work is."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not a job. You know what I mean? It's a specialty service to society and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it used to be like something different. Like it used to be for criminals and crooks and pirates and marines and
Yeah,
shit.
like
that
the
it goes
tattoo shop
like-
used to be scary.
Yeah,
and it had
right?
to be scary. That was kind of the thing. The guy would come out the bathroom, dry hands, put his zipper up, and just be like, "What are you getting?"
Yeah.
And it's just like,
A disease, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
get syphilis.
Yeah. I mean, everything's come up. You know what I mean? Even the standards of bloodborne pathogens, the barriers, and all this the precautions that we take to keep people safe. It's something that was taken on by tattooers to kind of legitimize themselves.
Yeah.
Right, they want to
And
make
it's
sure
come a far way. I mean,
They
it's
wanna
come
be
a
taken
really,
seriously.
really long way. Absolutely.
because it's an art. It really is an art.
It is, and it's minor surgery. Like people come through and they're just like, "This hurts really bad."
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, because metal paintbrushes
Yeah.
hurt, kind of.
We're not allowed to give anesthetic.
Right. It's just like we work in what's considered a clean environment. A sterile environment would be for surgery, open your body up and all that stuff. But tattooers work in a clean environment. We make sure that we are setting up guidelines and kind of a standard to make sure that everyone that comes through the door is safe. You know,
Right.
and it really is just like you take it upon yourself to kind of pay your dues, do what you need to do to learn everything. And once it becomes second nature, it's really not. I mean, you just do things. Even on a daily basis, you're doing things. You watch other people interact, and you're just like, dude, that's gross.
Yeah.
Because you have that tattooer mentality. It's just
Yeah,
like, really,
yeah.
you're going to touch that dollar and then put your fingernail in your mouth?
Yeah.
You're going to die.
I think it's
Yeah.
you take the bloodborne pathogens, right, and you see all that shit that can happen. Even if you've already done your research about knowing how to do it and everything. Like I took the food safe certification test, and I don't want to touch anything anymore.
Yeah,
like it's so
absolutely.
gross. Like the things that people do, and you watch. Like I've seen some tattooers that have beards and stuff, and they're tattooing, and their beard will rub up against it, and like that's grounds for a
Dipping their
staph
beard in it.
infection. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like some people don't.
Absolutely.
You guys are real on point while tattooing, which is appreciated by your clientele.
Yeah, for sure. I
Something to
wouldn't
be
want
proud
to
of,
get
too.
tattooed. I wouldn't want to be tattooed by somebody like that.
No.
You know what I mean? You walk in a tattoo shop and you're a little bit sketchy, or it feels weird, or you don't know what's going on. Like, go in their bathroom.
Yeah.
If the bathroom's filthy, just get the fuck out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. At its heart, it's a service industry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Would you go
Well,
into a dirty like
nowadays
restaurant?
more so than anything else?
Yeah.
Because before there was only a select few shops you could go into,
Yeah.
and that was pretty much it. Those were your options. And
If
nowadays,
you wanted to get it done, you had to get
right.
it there.
You pretty
Yeah.
much had to do it there, or like, you know, it wasn't to the caliber that it is now, where people are traveling to get tattooed.
Yeah.
People will set up like a week-long vacation from another country just to get tattooed by one artist.
Yeah.
Collect.
So you have to kind of make sure that people know that like the shop's here for you. You're a part of the fucking shop. Most of the people we tattoo become friends anyway.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
indeed.
You know what I mean? You spend hours changing somebody's body, like
You become a
end
part
up
of that
becoming
person's life, yeah.
yeah. They're taking you with you. You're taking you with them through the rest of the shit that they're going to go through, and then they're going to die.
Yeah. And they're going to
your
die. and it's gonna be
imagination
there.
is always going to be in them the
Yeah.
whole time.
Even after
you know what I
that.
mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
the imagery lives on.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of, it's like that's another thing that always cracked me up about people is like they ask you, did it hurt? Like about tattoos and piercings, the did it hurt thing. It's you know, you get stabbed a bunch by metal needles, it's not gonna hurt, and it's gonna be on your skin forever. You know what I mean? Like, how often do you get that question?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Have you put anything in yourself without it hurting?
Well,
No, that wasn't a personal question. You just took a list out with 12 pages on it.
well, let's see.
See, 1993.
Puppet arms.
Puppet arms. I had a thing with Grover.
Waka waka.
That's a completely different
It's
character.
just still a puppet.
Grover used to fuck that soup up all the time. It's great.
So, you said you guys have been busy. Tell me what it's like to now. You've worked at a lot of different shops.
Right.
What's the difference now between just working at somebody else's shop and owning your own shop? Like, yeah,
Wanna take this
you
one?
you are in the same situation as him right now.
I mean, well, that's like, dude, like if I want something done, it's not like I have to ask somebody. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right. Well, what do we need to get it done? You know,
Yeah.
It's not like a boss is like pushing your opinions or how you want it to run aside,
Yeah, you
doing
shop
however
all
they
the
want it to do. You know?
You find it less stressful?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
it's not even. It's really not that hard. You know, it's just more or less like, you know. Like you live in a house or you rent an apartment, you got to pay your bills. You know what I mean? It's just the same here. You know.
Oh, you guys got a lot more to think about, like with licensing problems you guys been having with, you know,
Oh, permits and
advertising
all that
and
stuff,
everything.
yeah.
you
That's
know.
just more like with opening it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have certain standards set with your clean rooms and dirty rooms and everything.
Right. Well, I mean, it goes probably from the my opinion as far as the difference would be, it goes from just kind of like hitting a wall when you're kind of trying to do things to either better the place you're working at or put some new ideas out there and try to get some of the guys that may not necessarily be learned, so to speak, in the ways of marketing and all this other stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean? The modern age of actually getting your shit out there. And all that stuff is stressful because you're kind of like, you know, you're doing your own work, you have your own following, you have people looking at your stuff, and you're doing what you're doing. But you work at a shop, you become a family, you spend more time with them than you do your own family.
Yeah.
And you kind of just want to be like, this is what we can do for all of us to do well. And all that stuff, you keep hitting walls. And then when you actually own your own shop, it just becomes a checklist, really. It's just
Yeah.
like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we need this, we need that, and then you just check them off as
It makes
you
a
do it.
difference when you're setting the limitations
Right,
as opposed to
right.
someone else.
Yeah.
So it's like, I understand why I'm doing this because I'm telling myself this is what we
If
can
the
and
boss
can't
is
do,
being
you know?
cheap with, you know, supplies, whose
Yeah.
fault is that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It helps. You have no
Speaking of
scapegoat.
which, that toilet paper you got in there. It's
Good.
like tissue
No,
paper.
that's fine. That's fine. You had there's probably within eyesight about 10,000 things you could look at, and the one problem you came up with was the one ply toilet paper that we have in the bathroom. I'm fine with that. That if it's a deterrent to keep the fecal matter. Yeah.
Don't
We-
shit in here. You
Yeah.
want me to?
We only use toilet paper for one thing, whereas your people
My
are not going green anytime soon.
All right, so is it like, all right, so you're telling me it's like if you own a house, right? You pay your bills and everything,
Yeah.
but like, what exactly what is the I know there's like a standard list. Like, tell me about what it takes to set up a shop. Like, what's the step-by-step process? Say, I want to open up a tattoo shop somewhere. Tell me about that.
Like, I guess if we were going to try to help somebody out to open up their own shop,
Well, tell us. Well, yeah, okay, or
okay,
like what you did.
I would be like, dude, don't do it. That shit sucks.
Don't be my
you can do it.
competition.
It's like shoot for 20 or 25 miles away from our shop. No, I mean, it's just a lot of logistics. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of red tape, a lot of dealing with the township and finding zoning and
Yeah, that was a pain in the ass zoning.
yeah. I mean, and it really just comes down to just persistence. I mean, and you know, all that stuff that you really will come through naturally if you just want something bad enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You'll find out how bad you want it.
Yeah, dude, and it's all just stuff that like has been in place for a while as far as businesses, and you kind of just do what you got to do, fill out the boring ass paperwork, and then wait, and then everything kind of falls into place. It's now that we look back, like it really wasn't that much work to open a tattoo shop, but when you're in the middle of it and you have all these ideas floating in your head about
and writing on the line,
right? Something as simple as the wall color or like the pattern of the tiles on the floor and like that kind of stuff. And then you have to fill out this form that's just like you look at it and there's a bunch of words on it, and you color for a living. Like you're just like, what are these words?
I draw, I don't read.
Yeah. Why would I'm reading?
Make it a pictogram of these laws.
Right. Yeah. Like if they had slides. Like a point and click.
Can we get a PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Isn't this form on YouTube anywhere? I mean, that's pretty much it, though. I mean, you just keep fucking moving. But that goes for anything. Like the people that are gonna tell you can't do it, are the people who are too scared to do it themselves, and the people that give you the paperwork are the people that are pretty much gonna be like, yeah, you can open or not. But you just gotta keep doing it. Fill out the paperwork. You know what I mean? Buy your shit. Move in there, tell your friends where you're going, and then just make a bunch of money.
Sweet.
Easy as that.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah. I wish the whole bunch of money was like actually
like a lot more.
Yeah. No, we make peanuts.
Yeah, peanuts. We are broke.
It's still at this point. You guys have yet to get walk-ins and everything. You're 2 weeks old. So far,
I mean, in 2 weeks, you probably had like what, 15 walk-ins?
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
That's
Which is not bad. That's a walk-in a day.
At least one day. Yeah. I mean, that's good enough. So.
Yeah, and with our client bases and I think kind of getting into the shop, we had a bunch of people that were just like waiting to get tattooed because they wanted to do it. Obviously, by
they'd be like one of the first ones.
Danny or myself. Yeah, there's a couple people that are like, can we be the first one? Which is cool, dude. Like, we're all about that. Whatever we gotta do to make people feel like they're part of the shop. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
Yeah. The fandom,
Yeah, dude, absolutely. It's like you guys are family. Like, just everybody come in, get some tattoos.
Yeah, for real. Spread the love.
Yeah, and just, like, kind of hang out.
That's a line we've been trying to ride, too, with our business here. It's just trying to turn the fans into family. Yeah. It makes it stronger.
It does. Because they'll wanna feel like they're contributing.
Exactly. And that's the cool thing with social media.
Yeah, social media is a godsend.
You put out stupid jokes, you're just like, yo, look at this perverted meme I found. Like,
look at this cat.
Right, and people kind of people know you before they even get to your shop.
They know your field.
Yeah, they walk in and they're just like, I'm going to crack a joke about some stupid pervert shit, and everybody's going to like it in there.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, you feel already like you're part of the shop before you walk in, and then when you do walk in and actually meet us, you're just like, yeah, dude, this is where I'm coming back for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with us, because we're a nerd show. You know what I mean? We're a nerd show, and most of our friends are the hardest of core nerds.
Absolutely.
You walk in here and you got some ancient X-Men figures like on shelves.
No charge.
And,
You're
some
welcome.
Awesome art. Like it's a show. Like you guys are building a mini museum here, and that's you got Horatio or Geraldo. To greet people at the front desk.
Leave. The interview's over.
Look, that was his real name. Horatio Rivera.
Horatio. Nice. That's a great skull though, because it's tattooed. So
yeah.
Tattooed. It's tattooed.
Tattooed.
Love a tattoo.
Come in for a tattoo.
Nice.
So you guys got another. You had a Friday the 13th event, and that went pretty swimmingly, I'd say.
Yeah.
We're very well.
The place filled up real quick.
Yeah, the place filled up. We had to stop taking consent forms and kind of just tell people like you're beat. No, it was kind of just like sorry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just two guys.
Yeah,
one cup. And there was, we just couldn't do everybody, you know?
Yeah, tell us when you actually stopped tattooing for the night that day.
What time was that, Ben? We stopped tattooing for the night on Friday the 13th.
It was like, dude, we didn't get out of here like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Scheiße.
So we probably stopped at like 3:30.
Yeah.
And then cleaned everything up.
Yeah, I imagine at that point you were trying to go quick.
Yeah,
I
because
was
we went to
hungry.
Denny's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all he
Let's-
kept
Moons over
saying.
Miami.
Dude, oh man.
Yeah, all day Nick was like, I'm getting breakfast after this.
Straight up.
Getting breakfast after
Yeah.
this.
I was like, anything that used to have a face, I just want to eat.
All of it on one plate.
On one plate.
Well, you guys got another big event day coming up. Black and Gray Friday, right?
Yeah, that was that's Benny's brainchild.
Yeah. All right.
It's
Tell us
a
about
funny-
it, Benny.
Yeah, dude, let him know.
It's Black Friday, where everybody gets fucking deals,
Right.
So
That's it.
So you're tattoo Black Friday
Yeah.
then.
So
yeah,
Black
we're opening
and
at
Gray.
7 a.m. Psych, that's bullshit.
It'll start at 4 a.m. the day before.
You don't
The
even know
shop
7
will
a.m.
never
is.
be open at 7 a.m. Ever.
Yeah.
Like, ever. Like, no.
That's the awesome thing about
Hold on one second.
owning a
Never,
tattoo shop.
ever. Yeah.
Because you do not have to be open at 7.
Right. We are on, like, our second or third dream at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Right. It's like a sig break. They're both ready. I think it's too intense. Oh, okay.
Camping.
That's sig break.
Camping is in.
It's
After
kind of
hours.
sort of,
After
yeah.
hours, there's...
Yeah. Benny, you got a key to the place in your pocket?
Yeah.
Same.
Enough said.
So, okay, what kind of turnout are you expecting for Black and Gray Friday? Do you think it's going to be anything like Friday the 13th?
It might be. I mean, we don't really go into stuff with expectations, I don't think, because then, like, we're in the industry where, like, people tell you they're coming and leave money and then never show up.
Yeah.
So we really
Yeah.
have no expectations at all.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, it's kind of like the old curse of a tattooer. Like, if you set your station up and stencil this picture out, they're not coming.
Right.
You wait till they get there and you do what you need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of just like, we're going to put the word out. We have a bunch of designs.
I used to have a whole drawing full of fucking like people that never showed up. I called it the cold case file.
You gotta love those ones that just drop money off and never come back, though. They're like, here, thanks for doing what you do.
It must be nice.
I had somebody, he put a deposit down. I drew it up. He came in for the appointment, paid the rest of the money, and I was setting everything up. And he's like, yo, I got a phone call. He's like, I'll be right back in, and just never came back. Like, I was like
Weird.
expecting him to be like, shit happens, like whether, something happened with his family or whatever,
Well, whatever
emergency.
his particular emergency.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He never came back. Like, I was like, maybe, like, the next day or two, I figured he would have stopped in, like, my bad, this is what happened.
Some kind of crazy. But you just got a bunch of money for free, so...
Yeah.
I mean, that's the perks of the job, but also the cons of, like, people that forget they just drop money in a tattoo... A lot of money in a tattoo shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever get any people telling you your prices are unfair? I mean, I haven't had a problem with it so far.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, have you ever
sometimes.
heard that?
Sometimes, but that's just because a lot of
That
people don't
comes
really.
standard.
Yeah, I mean, you would kind of think, even still in the age that people know that tattoos, they understand that like good tattoos aren't cheap and cheap tattoos aren't good. There's still people that just are constantly trying to save money
Right.
and
yeah.
get like the best thing.
Right.
And that's never going to go away. You know what I mean? So you're always going to have people that think a $60 minimum is too high. But that's because there's other shops that have a stupid low minimum where nobody makes money out of it.
Yeah.
And it's not even really a money-making thing. It's just like, what's fair? You know what I mean?
What's fair for something that's going to be on you forever?
Get what
Right.
you pay for.
Right.
Exactly. That's what I tell people
Right.
when they ask about pricing. You're going to pay for quality. You're going to pay for what you're going to get.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I mean,
usually
if a
that's the most
mechanic
important part.
wants to charge you $20 to do something, and he's got like a bunch of stuff in the shopping cart.
Usually what I'll
So it
ask,
happens.
That's
like, what are you
it's not
looking
gonna
to
be fixed
spend?
for long, you know?
You know what I mean? Like, what are you looking to spend on a tattoo? And then I
Right.
could, like, map out the tattoo towards your price budget. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
That's a good
And
way
that's
to do
cool,
it.
too.
Reverse engineer it.
Yeah, that's
What's your target price? You know?
That's cool to be able to work with people like that. A lot of places they won't really do that. They'll just
Yeah.
tell you what they can do for what you can work with. You know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, everybody wants tattoos.
It's true.
Not everybody can afford them, and for the most part, these are people that are like working hard as shit, they have their priorities. You know what I mean? There's things that are more. We're in a luxury business.
It's true.
No one needs tattoos, but everybody really, really wants that.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's a booming market.
Right. So it's kind of like we want them just as bad as people out there. We just fucking work with a guy who does them,
Just so happens.
so we can tattoo each other if we wanted to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all about the barter system. Like, I got a buddy that works on cars, so if something goes wrong with my car,
Yeah.
I'll tattoo you.
yeah, exactly. You know,
That's probably a big plus about tattooing. You can just
That
trade
also-
for
you know,
Yeah.
I had
almost anything.
my one client. He's like, "Yo, I got a tablet that I don't need. You looking for a tablet?" So I tattooed him for a tablet. You know?
Yeah, there you
I've
go.
got guns, bows. I had a guy driving a Sportster up to me, and he totaled it. And I was just like, I'm sorry, bro. But I'd probably still be tattooing that guy to this day.
Probably, so maybe
Yeah.
you're glad you got out of that.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Yeah,
He'll
so
be
drive
covered.
that bike over here and tattoo me. I'm like, damn it. It's got me by the crotch rocket. See what I did there?
Oh,
Booyah.
ladies and gentlemen,
You're welcome,
he'll
world.
be here all week.
Like my buddy's a painter for a living, and he came in and helped us paint.
Yeah,
you know?
that paint job's great, by the way.
Yeah.
I do love the black and red.
And I
Classy.
tattooed him for the paint job. You know,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and that also is a huge thing. Like, if you're willing to do work for other in like trade for other work, that makes you connections. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
you like with Tinelli. Tinelli does signs. Tinelli's like, I'll do your signs, tattoo me.
Straight
you know
up.
what I mean? And anybody else you got that like
Tinelli cracks me
has
up.
trade. You know, and that like you form relationships with
Yeah,
those people.
yeah.
So in the future, you're like, yo, I'm in a way this way, and I'll be able to help you out.
Yeah, and it works out, though, because we deal with so many people that, we're going to come across somebody that's like, I need a sign done for something. It's just like, oh, I got a guy.
I know this guy.
yeah.
Bring him business.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And the same goes back and forth. It's like,
Yeah.
who do you go tattooed from? Who do you get tattooed by?
Yeah.
The word of
Yeah,
mouth is
yeah.
king, man.
It's true.
It's
You
true.
know?
It's the best form of.
There's so many businesses out there. Like, have you ever seen a Bentley commercial?
Yeah. No.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Or Aston Martin.
That's
Exactly.
only-
I just might not watch the right channel. I don't watch Lifetime.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's, that kind of stuff is just word of mouth. I mean, when you get
Exactly,
quality and you get precision and detail and you get something that's going to last for the rest of your life, like, you don't have to push that as
Right.
much. I mean, we're trying to get the word out because we have a shop that we just opened. It's not so much just like, hey, you guys.
Hey guys.
Like,
Hey.
like you get lurked at by us. Right now, right?
Yeah.
It's more so just like, hey, over here.
Yeah.
It's more just like, hey guys,
Hey, listen.
in case you were looking for a cool fucking place to go to get tattooed,
Check it out.
now there's one at 1614 Farragut Avenue, Bristol Borough,
You can say cuss words
19007.
in there.
Yeah. Yeah, you can curse.
Yeah.
Come on in, bring your swear words. It's
We'll
fun.
trade.
Yeah, we'll trade. Absolutely.
We will trade swear words.
Yeah.
It's a good motto here.
We trade swear words and ideas.
might even learn some new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bilingual. Mix it up.
He can teach all the clients how the Espanola.
Espanola, yeah. As I come get tattooed by the Spaniard. Get,
Olay.
Are there going to be bowls there?
yeah, the old Incan beans.
Beans and beans.
Beaner tats. Yeah.
You like really fucking go for it. You get like a Mexican sombrero as
Yeah.
like the thing out front of the door.
Dude, I'll muchachos, everybody who comes in here.
Maracas and shit everywhere.
Maracas. We'll have a mariachi band in the corner.
It's the wrong kind of Spanish.
I know, it's Mexican.
I know.
But that's what most people are. They're like,
Exactly.
Do you speak Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
Which, if you technically think about it, it's like a completely different Spanish than other Spanish.
Right.
But still, it's like, no, asshole, I speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And, you're not speaking London.
Yeah, exactly. It's the difference between
Yeah.
American and English. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there's not really much difference, but enough. It's in the slang.
Yeah, that's true. Now, I guess considering we're a Nerdcast, we should probably ask you some nerd questions, huh?
Yeah, snarf.
I mean,
Like it's a
Nick,
quiz?
Nick just kind of looks like a nerd.
Absolutely.
I
I play
mean,
one on TV.
yeah, I seen that show.
Yeah.
I got it on DVR.
Sounds
I
like
meant
the
to watch
background in
it.
SVU. Nerd number 14. Comic-Con episode.
Yeah.
Tell us where your nerd lies, Nick.
My nerd lies in. I think we talked about this one time, but I love dead shit.
Oh, man.
I like the nostalgia of like old video games and fucking cartoons and like shit that made me punch my sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was a little kid in Ninja Turtle underwear. Like I will fuck you up if you don't eat that pizza backwards right now.
Yeah.
Like that's the way to do it. You know what I mean? You stand on if I were to step on a skateboard right now, I would die. But before that, I would get one solid cowabunga in.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you go down the hill way
As
too fast.
I wouldn't even make that. I would be rolling and the board would be gone.
Standing still, the board just slides
The
running.
board just flies
Yeah,
out.
everyone would be
Just-
watching the sewer because if you're a kid at any time in your life, when something rolls down the street, you eyeball the sewer.
You're like, fuck,
You're like,
fuck,
it's
fuck.
going. It's going. Fuck.
It's one of those things where you don't even try and stop it, you just hope.
And on that note, if something does go into the sewer, even as an adult,
One of two
you're
things
scared
is
to
going to
reach
happen.
in there.
Yeah.
One of two things is going to happen. Either a Ninja Turtle's going to throw it back out, or
Right.
beep beep Richie, you're next. Okay, that's how it happens with a sewer. Either one or the other.
That's it. To this day, I won't let a paper boat run
Yeah.
there.
Some chuds.
Some
Chuds
chuds.
could be down there.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure people would think we're the Chuds.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about you, Benny? I mean, your nerd's kind of out on the walls. But what's nerdy about your?
I mean, I think comic books are what got me into art because,
Yeah.
like, growing up, like, I would never really read the comic books. I would just look at all the pictures, you know what I mean? And kind of like, you know, with the whole nerd shit, it's like fantasy, you know what I mean? Which plays a lot with art, you know? Like, anything with art I love, so.
Yeah.
Whether
Makes
it's
more
cartoons or whether it's, you know, pictures on the magic cards, you know, we were talking about that yesterday.
Benny's
You
play
know.
Magic too.
Used to?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, however long you haven't played for, everything's changed.
Oh yeah.
It's like every
It's
year,
been
everything's
7
completely
hours.
different. Yeah.
This is going back like 15 years ago I had some, you know?
Alpha shit.
that's
No,
like
that was around like
Ice Age.
Odyssey, something like that. Whatever.
Long time ago, we got
Just keep naming them.
Yeah. Torment, Judgment.
Arabian Nights.
Fuck Arabian Nights.
No, Frank.
That sucks.
There was some cool things in Arabian
Yeah,
Nights.
Aladdin's ring is bullshit.
We're nerding right now. So
No, it's fine.
you can't talk about too much, or else we'll just go off
You guys
on
are bubbling
tangents.
like flubber.
Oh,
Yeah.
Robin Williams is dead.
I know, he's super dead. I fucking miss him.
Stuck in dark
I
turn.
missed him. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Hey, get off that desk.
Oh, and they're thinking about redoing Jumanji.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's booty.
How did they redo that?
Because
Sold
they're
much
assholes.
now.
What do you like?
It's
Nobody
fine.
has any
Like, it
original
was,
ideas.
You know, like,
Yeah, I'm waiting for. It might have been a rumor, but I hear they're making Big Trouble in Little China with The Rock.
That's
I
what I heard.
heard. Which honestly, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, dude, I love
You know?
The Rock, dude. He's a
Yeah,
fucking.
he can do no wrong.
Yeah, dude, he really can. Like, what other fucking 200-something pound man can you see dance to Taylor Swift and then slap somebody with a 2x4?
Did you see Pain No Gain, or what was it?
Pain and Gain?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that movie.
Dude, he made that
He
He
movie.
really did. Make it. He did.
I saw a thing on the internet, a picture on the internet the other day, and I don't know if it's real. It could just be fan, but it's like a movie poster, right? And it's The Rock, and he's like with the black t-shirt on and blonde hair,
Johnny Bravo.
and just says Bravo.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's total bullshit.
How
It's
great
just
would
like,
it
Would
be?
be
that's
amazing,
fucking
though.
awesome.
The Rock would
Yeah.
be an
Perfect
awesome
casting.
Johnny Bravo.
The Rock would be the awesome.
Yes.
These are the people of the future. Everyone will look like The Rock and Will Smith.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Either or.
Either or. The people of the future are all mulatto.
Yeah.
Well, Will Smith hasn't really changed much. He's got some gray sometimes, but then
Yeah.
sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah,
He's
but
a
the
vampire,
dude's
like,
still
for
like
real.
if Will Smith walked in here right now, he'd be like, "Dude, what's up?"
Yeah.
Can I see some ID?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You're my favorite.
Yeah,
We
it's like
liked you in Fresh Prince.
everything.
Everything you
Remember that
ever
scene
did.
you were crying about your father?
And it
Everybody
cracks me
knows
up
that
is
episode.
how extremely like
Uncle Phil, man,
cheesy
can't
like
save
Will
him today.
Smith's all his albums and like hits and everything were,
Yeah.
but everybody jammed to that shit. Like I sincerely rocked out to the Wild Wild West song not too long ago.
Absolutely.
Like
Stevie Wonder ripoff.
yeah. And the Men in Black song, the whole jam. That's
Yeah.
my shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh man.
A couple episodes ago, we did the two gay guys from Men in Black, and every time somebody said Men in Black, he went,
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, Benny and Nick, it has been great talking to you guys again.
Same.
You know,
Same.
we have big high hopes for the shop. We love this place, and we'll be here probably frequently. You'll see us again soon.
all of the days.
We'll be here all the days.
Nice.
But so yeah, make sure you guys head down. As Nick has a horse string. What is it called?
A horse
Jolly
string.
horse. Make sure you guys head down to Black Sparrow on the 27th for Black and Gray Friday. They're doing grayscale flash all day long, $25.
Yeah,
So-
Black and Gray Friday on Black Friday.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. But until next time, guys, this has been Jane,
Man.
her Wizard Nerdcast. Thank you and good night.